আমি যদি কোনোদিন পথ ভুলে যাই হাত ছানি দিয়ে কাছে নিয়ে
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد. We have numerously said that Allah Azza wa Jal favors people over people, prophets even over prophets, days over days, and tomorrow night inshallah is one of the nights that is very special, very great. Allah Azza wa Jal has favored this night. It's a virtuous night, but before it's the Laylat al-Nisf of Sha'ban, the night of the half of the month Sha'ban. But before we speak about Sha'ban, I would like to make a quick recap about last week's Khutba, because I can see a lot of our youngsters. I would like to repeat the 4 sins that we spoke about last week, because I think they're very important even for our youngsters to know. That in last week we mentioned there are 4 major sins, 4 kaba'ir, 4 sins that whomever falls in these sins, Allah Azza wa Jal will punish him in his grave. In his grave he will be tormented till the day of judgment. This is adab al-qabr. What are the 4 sins and what are the punishments? The first is someone, his head will be bashed, will be smashed with a rock until and over. When the rock rolls over, his head will come back again, his head will be bashed again. So you should imagine this. Until the day of judgment. This is the first one. The second one, his face will be torn apart. From his lips to the back of his head. From the nose to the back of his head. From the eyes to the back of his head. When the angel goes to the other side, this side comes back again. And so on until the day of judgment. This is the second person. The third people are people in a great huge oven. Flames from their behinds, burning them. They're shouting, they're screaming. They're trying to get out of this oven. They reach the top. The flame comes down. They come back again. The flame burns them again. They're shouting, they're screaming till the day of judgment. From the day of their death in their grave until the day of judgment. This is the third. The fourth is someone swimming in a lake or pond as red as blood. He comes to the shore. There is an angel with a lot of stones. The man opens his mouth. He's thrown with these stones. He goes back to swim and comes back to the shore, back and forth until the day of judgment. So what have these 4 people done? What are these 4 sins that this is their punishment until the day of judgment, over and over again? The first, the one that his head is smashed, is someone that sleeps from salah. In the hadith, يَنُومُ عَنِ الصَّلَاةِ الْمَكْتُوبَةِ, the fard. You have 5 fard, 5 prayers. If you sleep, you don't make the effort. You don't make the effort to put on your alarm, someone to wake you up, sleep early. If you don't do this, this is a habit that you skip, you sleep salat from the fard al-maktub. This is going to be your punishment if you don't make tawbah before you die. The second, that his face is torn, is someone who lies. So you can see a lie. Some things we take for granted, we think they're simple. You write something on the social media, a rumor, it is spread. Thousands of people read it. Because of you, this lie, this is the punishment. Your face, from your lips, until it would be torn to their back, again and again, until the day of judgment. The third, the people who are their flames from their behinds, until they try to go out screaming and shouting, these are people of zina. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. May Allah protect us and our children from zina. The people who are engaged in sexual intercourse outside of marriage. Having a girlfriend that it seems to be something nowadays normal. But no, it starts, yes, with holding hands, then it moves to a kiss on the cheek, or until it reaches to zina wal-'iyadu billah. May Allah protect our children, our youngsters. This is from the kaba'ir. The fourth, who swims in the lake and he's thrown with a stone and he goes back and forth, is someone that's engaged with riba. With riba, their interest. Someone who comes to you in need, desperate of money, of a loan. He works on his car as a taxi driver. His car is broken down. He needs a loan. I need a car to make income. You tell him, okay, I'll give you 10,000 pounds, but every month you don't pay back 1,000 pounds. You give me more every month, and like this and on. He makes use of your need. This is the riba and there are other forms, but this is the most understandable, easy, simple mean of riba. These are the four sins. May Allah protect us. May Allah Azza wa Jal make us from the whom keep their salah. May Allah Azza wa Jal make us sincere and honest in every word we say. May Allah Azza wa Jal protect us and not make us in need of taking or using riba or engaging in this usury. May Allah Azza wa Jal protect our children, our sons again from the zina. Back to our main subject of tomorrow, inshallah, the great night of Laylat al-Nisf min Sha'ban. The night of the half of Sha'ban tomorrow. Today is 13th of Sha'ban, tomorrow 14th of Sha'ban, but the night is 15th, the night of the half of Sha'ban. It is a great night. There is an authentic, sahih hadith that Allah Azza wa Jal, the Prophet says, يَطَّلِعُ اللَّهُ إِلَى عِبَادِهِ في ليلة النصف من شعبان فيغفر لجميع خلقه إلا اثنان مشرك ومشاح. Allah Azza wa Jal on tomorrow night, tomorrow night, He looks at all His creation and forgives all His creation. Only two. These two, Allah Azza wa Jal does not forgive. These two sins, Allah Azza wa Jal, if these people of these two sins will not be forgiven tomorrow. These two sins are mushrik, shirk billah, and the second, mushahin. The shirk billah, Allah Azza wa Jal spoke to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَلَقَدْ أُوحِيَ إِلَيْكَ وَإِلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ لَئِنْ أَشْرَكْتَ لَيَحْبَطَنَّ عَمَلُكَ وَلَتَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. Allah Azza wa Jal told the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the most beloved person to Allah Azza wa Jal, that if you commit shirk, if you fall in shirk, all your deeds are gone. All your deeds are not worth, are forgotten, not counted, and you are from those who lose, khasirin. What is shirk? We need to understand. If it is this great sin that Allah does not forgive, we must understand it. We must know what is shirk. The simple form we know is that associating a partner to Allah Azza wa Jal. Yes, but the shirk, it's even that nothing should be in your heart other than Allah Azza wa Jal. You should not worship other than Allah Azza wa Jal. When Allah Azza wa Jal is the one who is worthy of thank, you thank other than Allah Azza wa Jal. Associating a partner, worshipping, for example, worshipping Jesus instead of worshipping the God, your creator, who created the sun and the moon and the stars. Yes, it's a form of shirk, but also someone who does not worship Allah. Someone who is a Muslim, he claims he's a Muslim, but he does not pray. Isn't it the same as someone who is worshipping a partner with Allah? They are both not worshipping Allah, yes? One is not worshipping, one is not praying, and one is praying, but praying to something else, worshipping something else. A shirk, Allah Azza wa Jal told the Sahabi that أَتَدْرِي مَا حَقُّ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْعِبَادِ. You know what is the right of Allah Azza wa Jal upon His creation? To worship Him alone, none other than Him. Then do you know what is the right of the creation on Allah? Although Allah Azza wa Jal, no one has the right upon Him, but Allah Azza wa Jal has made it on Himself that whomever does not commit shirk, and يغفر له, Allah Azza wa Jal will forgive him. For Allah Azza wa Jal make us from those of tawheed that do not worship other than Allah Azza wa Jal. This is the first sin. The second, mushrikun wa mushahin. Mushahin is someone who has a hatred or a grudge to someone, that this hatred consumes him, that he's filled with this hate. And we can link, what's the link between this kind of hatred and shirk? Thinking of Iblis. Why Iblis, his hatred to Adam, his resentment to Adam, his hate to Adam made him disobey Allah Azza wa Jal. So this is the kind of hatred we're speaking about. This is the kind of hatred we should clean our hearts. Tomorrow, we should not have any kind of hatred or any kind of grudge towards anybody. Try to clean our hearts. In the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ was sitting with his companions. And he said, now a person of Jannah, from the people of Jannah, will enter. So it's a certificate that this person who is entering is going to enter Jannah. So a man entered. The second day, the same thing. The Prophet said the same, and the same man entered. The third day, the Prophet gave him the same certificate. He is from the people of Jannah. Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As, radiyallahu anhu, an sahaba ajma'in, the great companion, was very keen. And this is how the Sahaba were. He wanted to know what did this person do so that he became of the people of Jannah. I must follow him and try. He went to his house. He knocked the door. He told him, I have some problems with my family. I want to stay with you 3 nights. I want to sleep with you. The man let him enter. He stayed with him 3 nights. And he wanted to see, what is this person doing so special that made him from the people of Jannah, who entering paradise. He found that he does not have a lot of siyam, not a person who fasts a lot. He found that he is not a person who prays during the night a lot. He did not see anything special. And he was confused. He wanted to, the Prophet told him that this is the person of Jannah. So at the end he decided, he told him the truth. Oh, I don't have anything. I just want to stay with you to see what you're doing. Please tell me, what special do you do that the Prophet said you are of the people of Jannah? The man told him that I don't have a lot of good deeds, as you see, other than whenever I go to bed every night, I go clean my heart. I do not have anything towards any of my brother believers. My heart is clean. I do not have any shahna, any baghda, any hatred, any sort of bad feeling towards any of my. And this is how we should be. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to have this kind of hatred or to have hold this kind of grudges to any Muslim. We're going to speak also. The narration has another word, qati' rahim, someone who cuts the ties of kinship. But even if he's not your kinship, even if a simple Muslim, the Prophet ﷺ said, لا يحل لامرئ مسلم أن يهجر أخاه فوق ثلاث وأفضلهما الذي يبدأ بالسلام. The Prophet says it is haram. لا يحل. لا يحل, not halal, means it's haram for a Muslim to cut or not to speak to have any with his brother Muslim more than 3 days. So misunderstanding can happen, problems can happen, but you should not keep it more than 3 days, not to speak to that brother Muslim. 3 days, the Prophet said, the best of them is that who starts with salam. The best of them is that who comes and talks and breaks this kind of this dispute. So we should cleanse our heart, not be very, very, and in a narration, the Prophet ﷺ says, دَبَّ إِلَيْكُمْ دَاءُ الْأُمَمِ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ الْحَسَدُ وَالْبَغْضَاءُ. The Prophet says that now in this nation, in the Ummah, has come the disease of the previous nations. Hasad, envy, jealousy, and Baghda, hatred. Al-Baghda, hatred, he said, it shaves. It does not shave the head, he said, it shaves your deen. It shaves your deen means it shaves all your good deeds, all your hasanat. Just hatred. أَلَا أَدُلُّكُمْ عَلَى شَيْءٍ لَن تَدْخُلُوا الْجَنَّةِ حَتَّى تُؤْمِنُوا. You are not going to enter Jannah until you believe, have faith. وَلَن تُؤْمِنُوا. You are not going to believe until you love each other. أَلَا أَدُلُّكُمْ عَلَى شَيْءٍ إِذَا فَعَلْتُمُوهُ تَحَابَبْتُمْ. Shouldn't I show you something? If you do, you're going to love each other. أَفْشُوا السَّلَامَ بَيْنَكُمْ. He said, spread salam. Anyone, whomever you know or you don't know, say salamu alaykum, salamu alaykum, salamu alaykum. This creates love between Muslims. So this is how we should be with each other. Love each other, no hatred. Simple things. Simple things. You can see this man was from Al-Jannah. Qati' Rahim, in the other narration, Qati' Rahim is someone who cuts the ties of his kinship. I am very saddened to hear that someone, 5 years he said he did not speak to his mother. Yani subhanallah. 5 years he did not speak to his brother. 5 years he did not speak to his father. The Prophet says, لا يدخل الجنة. لا يدخل الجنة قاطع رحم. He will not enter Jannah, paradise, someone who cuts the ties of his kinship. How can you not speak to your brother? Even whatever, yes, like I said, we are humans. Misunderstanding happen, problem happen. But at least keep the tie, keep a door open. Speak to him, at least hello. Don't قاطع رحم. In Islam, Allah Azza wa Jalla in the Quran said, فَهَلْ عَسَيْتُمْ إِن تَوَلَّيْتُمْ أَن تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَتُقَطِّعُوا أَرْحَامَكُمْ أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ لَعَنَهُمُ اللَّهُ فَأَصَمَّهُم وَأَعْمَىٰ أَبْصَارَهُم. Cutting the tie of kinship, Allah Azza wa Jalla says, this is a reason for la'na. La'na, the curse of Allah Azza wa Jalla. And if Allah Azza wa Jalla curses you, la'na means tard of rahmat Allah. You're not going to have the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jalla. How are you going to enter Jannah without the mercy of Allah? How are you going to live your life without the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jalla? So your rahim, silat al-rahim is very important. Let's try before tomorrow night to any kind of hatred, any kind of disputes, problems between any kind of Muslim, try to amend it. Try to give a phone call. Even if you don't speak about the details of your dispute. Just let's be brothers in Allah Azza wa Jal. Let's have no hatred to each other. Let's try to settle all your kinds. Try to keep clean. Try to be an easy person. Al-mu'min ya'laf wa yu'laf. Al-mu'min hayyin. A believer is an easy person. Someone who is liked and someone who likes. This is the Prophet said like this. يألف ويؤلف. There's no reason for, it's not worth it والله العظيم. It's not worth it at all. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم لك الحمد حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. The last thing I would like to say is that you might see on the net a lot of debates about Laylat al-Nisf Sha'ban, and a lot of people saying innovations and bid'ah. Yeah, just don't consume yourself with this. What you need to know is that tomorrow is a special night. And it's a day, it's a night full of barakah. Why don't you grasp some of this barakah? Why don't you make dua? Why don't you pray? And just grasp from this barakah of Allah Azza wa Jal. And just leave the lots of debates and lots of talks. And focus on what benefits you. What benefits you, take it, inshallah Azza wa Jal. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم يا رب اغفر لنا وارحمنا. اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا. اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا. اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا مباركا معصوما. اللهم لا تجعل فينا ولا بيننا شقيا ولا محروما. اللهم اغفر لنا جميع الأمور برحمتك يا عزيز ويا غفور. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما. اللهم لا تجعل لنا في مقامنا هذا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا كربا إلا نفسته ولا مبتلا إلا عافيته ولا مريضا إلا شفيته ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة لك فيها رضا ولنا فيها صلاح إلا قدرتها ويسرتها برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم فرج هم المهمومين ونفس الكرب عن المكروبين واقض الدين عن المدينين واشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين. اللهم اغفر لكل من ساهم في عمارة هذا المسجد. اللهم كل من ساهم في عمارة هذا المسجد. اللهم نسألك من الخير كله عاجله وآجله ما علمنا منه ما لم نعلم ونعوذ بك من الشر كله عاجله وآجله ما علمنا منه وما لم نعلم. اللهم نسألك من خير ما سألك منه نبينا محمد ونستعيذ بك من شر ما استعاذ منه نبينا محمد. اللهم كل قضاء قضيته لنا فاجعله لنا خيرا يا رحمن يا كريم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصل اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. وقوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم الله.